Hello there, adventurers, and welcome to Wally DM. Today we're going to take a look at a puzzle that you can find in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Now this is what's on the menu, and it's labeled as hard. I would go as far to say it is very difficult to do, not only for the players to solve, but for a dungeon master to run. So the way I'm going to present today's video is we're going to go over the setup, and then I'm going to go through each hint one by one. There's 4 hints in total, so feel free to pause the video as we go over each hint to see if you can decipher the puzzle. After you're done watching the video, be sure to leave a comment below and let me know how many hints it took before you were able to solve the puzzle. So with regards to the storyline, our adventuring party has found out that this local inn or tavern is the front for a secret organization. They need to either infiltrate it or to join it, so they need to find a way to find out what the password is and get through a door. Now be sure to stay tuned at the very end of this video as I reveal what that secret organization is. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. This puzzle is what's on the menu. Before we get started with the puzzle, just a reminder that if you like the content on this channel, to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. Also, if you want to chat with me and a lot of good folks that know a lot about D&D, make sure you hit us up in the Discord. And of course, if you want more puzzles and traps, pick up a copy of my Journal of Puzzle Encounters, available now on DriveThruRPG. Now let's get started with the video. So in this puzzle, our adventuring party enters a local tavern that they have found out is the front for a secret organization. Now whether they're here to infiltrate that secret organization or try to become a part of it is up to you as the dungeon master in whatever campaign you're trying to run. Now as the adventurers enter, the tavern is crowded with happy people enjoying their food and drinks. Behind the bar, a stocky woman is wiping down the wooden bar top. She looks up as you enter and nods towards an empty table before her attention is drawn elsewhere. There's also a copy of the tavern's menu on top of the table. So Holda motions over for our adventurers to occupy this table here, and at this time you would want to give a copy of this menu to your players. Now the characters, knowing that they're in the correct tavern to try to infiltrate this secret organization, they'll probably try to start with Holda the barkeep. And if the characters prod her for information, she's going to ask for the password. Now if the characters don't know the password, she's simply going to tell them, if you're worth your weight in copper, you'd speak the password to earn my trust. Now in this setup, we're going to have a door over here that leads to the basement where the secret organization is meeting, and our characters need to figure out the password to tell Holda, and once they do that, the PCs will be able to travel downstairs, successfully solving the puzzle and infiltrating or joining the secret organization. Now this is the first moment where I'm going to stop, have you look at the menu, which is the most important part of this puzzle, and if you know what the password is and have already solved the puzzle at this point of the video, then hats off to you, you are definitely a great investigator. But in my experience, I believe we're going to need some more information. So it's at this point, we're going to turn the page in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and we're going to start giving our players a few hints. Now the first hint is going to involve Holda once again. So if one of our characters, let's say our sorceress here, wants to try to persuade or intimidate Holda, then they're going to need to make a DC 15 check. And on success, she's once again going to say, count your lucky coppers, that we have 7 choices on the menu for you. And this information here is going to once again allude to the menu and give a few more clues. Now that is the first possible hint. I'll give you a moment once again if you'd like to try to solve the puzzle. If not, let's continue with our second hint. And our second hint involves these 2 patrons here, and as a DM we can let our table here know that these characters might be talking about some information they need. And by doing that, if they want to try to eavesdrop, let's say our rogue here just scoots back a little bit, we're going to allow him a dexterity stealth DC 15 check, and on success they're going to be able to overhear that these 2 patrons are discussing how they might have gotten a misprinted menu because the prices don't seem right, or bemoaning the fact that the menu doesn't list items in alphabetical order. So that's 2 clues worthwhile, and once again it pertains to the menu that's on the table. We now know that there's something to do with them being in alphabetical order and something about the prices. So if you have solved the puzzle already, after 2 hints, leave a comment below and let me know how you did. That's fantastic. But let's say we need a few more hints. We have 2 more that Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is going to help us out with. So the next one, let's say our wizard here has a question about the menu. We can allow him a history intelligence DC 15 check, and if successful, then our wizard is going to be able to recall stories of how secret messages used to be sent through taverns using common items anyone could access, such as menus. Now this hint check isn't going to be as helpful as the previous two, but if the characters aren't getting the fact that the menu is the key to figuring out the password and they have to do something with the items on the menu, then this hint check will be very helpful in helping them push them into that direction. Now, if the characters still haven't figured it out, we can allow all of the characters at the table that are looking at the menu a Wisdom Perception DC 15. And if they succeed on that, they're going to notice that the prices on the menu don't make much sense. For example, why is rabbit stew so much cheaper than corn and lentil stew? So that is all of the information that you need to solve the puzzle. Again, the menu being the most important part, so we need to relay that to our players, but you also now have 4 hints. So with all of the hints, with the menu, with what Holda said, do you know how to solve the puzzle? I'll give you a second if you'd like to figure it out. Did you get it? Great, let's go over the answer. So once again, our solution to the puzzle and the password that the characters need to tell Holda in order to get down into the secret organization below is going to be hidden in the menu. Now looking at our menu once again, the first thing that we need to do is we need to arrange the menu in alphabetical order. Now hopefully this was a stealth check that the characters were able to previously obtain by eavesdropping on the merchants, but that is definitely the first step in order to solve the puzzle. Now the second step in solving the puzzle is to remember what the barkeep Holda said. When we were first introduced to her, we can remember that she says if you're worth your weight in copper, and then if we were able to persuade her to give us more clues, count your lucky coppers that we have 7 choices on the menu for you. So what Holda is alluding to is that you need to count in on each of the menu items equal to their price in copper pieces. So if you'll notice that ale and cheese pastries are 7 copper pieces, and you count in 7 letters, you're going to get to the letter C. The next one that's in alphabetical order is brandied ham and carrots, which is 9 letters. If you count in, you're going to get the letter H. The third item on the menu in alphabetical order is corn and lentil soup. You can count in 12 letters, you get the letter I. The fourth menu item is Dragonfire Mead, counting in 11 letters because it's 11 copper pieces. You're going to get the letter M. Grilled fish and carrots, the letter E. Rabbit stew is the first letter, which is the letter R. And seared boar and potatoes is the third letter, which is the letter A. Now if you look what we spelled here using all of the clues, we have the word chimera. So now that all of our characters have rearranged the menu items in alphabetical order and taken 1 letter from each menu item and in accordance to their price in copper pieces, we have the password chimera. So if our character comes over here and tells Holda the password is chimera, then she's going to grant them access to the secret organization and they're going to be able to continue on downstairs into the secret organization. So that is a hard puzzle that you can find in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Now if you would like to make this easier for your players, then I'm going to recommend that you skip the first menu entirely and just give them the one that's already in alphabetical order. With a few clues on making sure you count your coppers, I'm sure they'll be able to see that something costs 7 copper pieces, count in 7 letters, and they'll be able to decipher it. But I still think it's going to be a medium difficulty puzzle. Now with that in mind, I'm curious, leave a comment below and let me know how many hints it took you to solve the puzzle as you were watching this video. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the puzzle? Is this something that you could use in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? In particular, what hints and clues would you get to help your players? Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video and on to the next. One more thing before we go, there was actually an Easter egg in today's setup. Did you see it, and were you able to guess which secret organization our characters were trying to join? Well, if you said House Demir on the plane of Ravnica, then you are correct. If you take one more look at this setup, you're going to see the symbol for House Demir in the background behind the bar. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and on to the next.